Okay, girls, listen up. Today's shift is going to be a ride along with the security guard's favorite, the Smith & Wesson 38 Special. These are Model 64s, 64-3, 64-5s, and they were made in the early 90s. Of course, they don't have the silly lock mechanism on them, so you don't have to fool with that. They've got about a 4-pound trigger pull average on the single action. I didn't check the double action with a scale, but Smith & Wesson quality, nice and silky smooth. They all have a property number where they were identified by the company that owned them, and they probably spent a lot of time in a holster and rode in the security guard's holster, but not shot much. They generally have to requalify periodically. Not exactly a range toy, so these guns are usually traded in bulk, and you can pick through them and find you a nice one occasionally. These guns generally built like a tank, and they just don't break. Great for putting in the truck or stashing in the house somewhere. Put some plus P's in there for self-defense. Today we're just going to run some Blazer brass through them and see how they look on paper on the targets. Okay, here's our Smith & Wesson Model 64 targets, and I shoot 6 o'clock position, 6 o'clock hold, which means that the bottom of the target is where I put my sights. So I shoot a little low on a lot of these targets. If you aim at the red dot, you probably would be in the black somewhere. So anyway, that's the reason you see the patterns that I shoot are usually underneath the target on with handguns. 15 yards open sights. But these guns, you know, they're not shot much. They're carried by the duty officer, and they're really not shot much. So the rifling's in excellent condition, and for what they are, you know, just a inexpensive truck gun or something to have stashed in the house somewhere. These are really a bargain. Smith & Wesson quality, built like a tank, and plenty accurate enough. You can take it out plinking at the range once in a while. 38 Special ammo is not too awful expensive. So there's a sampling of our targets. Okay, Smith & Wesson Model 64 security guard trade-in. We're going to put it on some steel. Okay, some final thoughts on the Smith & Wesson Model 64s. You know, Smith & Wesson was really the staple of the police carry weapon for literally for decades. And before the advent of semi-autos, these things were carried by police officers and security guards and the like, because they're just, I mean, downright bulletproof. You know, these things sturdy and don't fail, easy to operate. You know, they're simple. You could have one of these around the house, maybe teach your wife how to operate it, and don't have to worry about if there's a round in the chamber. There's always a round in the chamber. No safety to fool with. And double action, the double action pull is heavy enough that, you know, I mean, you're not going to shoot yourself accidentally with this thing. Single action for target work, sighting it in, practice. Incredibly light. Nice break. So these guns, brand new, today's version of this gun is about, you know, almost $700, and they have the silly lock system. You'll see a little hole there. That's where the lock is on the new ones, and these are considered pre-lock. So, you know, they just a bargain if you can get one of these nice clean trade-ins. So that's all I got to pass on these. Nice guns.